Honorable Senator Chief Charumbira.
Tinotenda Madam President unokundipa mukana unoyu. Ndofunga ndiri umwe vanhu vokupedzisira saka ndototaura somunhu wokupedzisira. Zvokutanga ndinoda chokwadi kutenda mukana uno na Minister weJustice.
Point of order, Madam President. May he turn his mic on?
Oh, no.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
it's on.
I was okay, thank you.
It's on. Thank you. Yeah.
We hear you, Senator
It's on.
Chief.
But maybe Polo, is it on for you?
Okay.
Okay. Ndandishiti atitende Minister weJustice. Ndomboenda kuchirungu. I saw him perform in the National Assembly. At least 50% of that time. He demonstrated capacity of the highest order. And I even sympathized with his late hours presentation. But for 2 weeks, so I think 4 weeks now, he has been leading this process, ensuring that the Parliament consumes and then makes its decisions. Ngatimbovauchirirai. Well done, Minister of Justice. I stand here in my capacity, first as a senator, and secondly, a traditional leader, a chief, and in my capacity as deputy to my President Chief Khumalo seated across. So I carry a national mandate. And in our constituency, and in our province, in our constituency runs from corner to corner of this country. Tiba Wirina Chief Khumalo. We speak for the nation, not for the province. I come from Masingo, but the Masingo, Vanata, Mavinyengo, Gataura, Akamidira Masingo, Inda Kumidira Zimbabwe.
Order. I'm sorry, Senator Chief. Ndinokumbirawo kuti mushandise mutauro umwe.
All right. Tinotenda, and I'll do that for this. Yes. So, first of all, as I speak from a national seat, I want to say as a chief, first, we convened provincial assembly meetings. Provincial assembly means all chiefs in a particular province, in the 8 provinces that are rural. And all of them, all the provinces that we preside in as traditional leaders, all unanimously endorsed CAB 3. In our case, not even one hand in all the provinces opposed, not even one. It was 100% in all the 8 provinces. And I carry that message this afternoon on behalf of traditional leaders. Madam President, madzimambo varidzi venyika vakaindosa zvisere. That's very important. I will then, as a senator, I participated in the outreach or the hearings, public hearings, in Marsh West with Senator Matibili. I was in Marsh West. We went to the most of the remotest places in Marsh West, remote of remote. And in all those meetings, again, it was overwhelming support for Cape 3. And Senator Matibiri confirmed that when he spoke yesterday. Then at Parliament, as chiefs in Parliament, the 18 of us, we also convened a caucus, say leadership, my chiefs. And all of us agreed that in this chamber we are all going to support Cape 3. You heard from the chiefs yesterday, and then today, they say, oh, apana imbo die, straight, supporting Cape 3. Very pano. Because we all agreed in our caucus, when we present the shake would be, we are very clear. And one of the famous quotations, since yesterday, a quotable quote, during this whole process, we enact this bill. Yakabakula chief mutasa nisuru. Wakati kana unoti 7 years zakaipa. Zakarebesa. Panopera 5 years. Singobuda winde kumba uoneka. That is a quotable quote. So, I stand here for endorsement of Cape 3. Now, that you will allow me to say, 5 years or 7 years, time, longer terms. Madam President, we are also talking from practical experience. Most countries in the world today have realized that the 5 years has shunned. It's too short, it's true. You are aware of the Rwanda, one of the most peaceful countries on the continent, and they say, having come from genocide, Hutu Tutsi today, then they are the most peaceful and the cleanest on the continent. Yaka extend to 7 years. Tell me, President. Bakano 7 years. Madam President, when former President of Ghana, John Kufuor, when he delivered his farewell speech in the Parliament of Ghana, and you can Google and find that speech. President John Kufuor, former President, the farewell speech to Parliament, he said, after serving 2 terms, two terms, he said to Parliament, you know what? I now feel that I'm now fit to run this country after 2 terms. I had the man do it, but it was not possible for him. But he said, first term, no, I was trying to find my way as president. Second term, yes, I started gaining a bit of traction. Now that I'm going out, I feel more confident now that I know how to be a president, what it means. Apa wanu chenda kumba wapeta. Yone baonu now engineer pisa ya chimanya moto. So the issue of 4 or 5 years, everyone now agrees at it. But most countries are unable to move to 7 or to 6 or to 8 because they are not as organized as ourselves. But our popularity such parliaments, very progressive. So I just know that others will follow in the future. Maximum, you will allow me as a chief. In the original bill, there was something about chiefs and politics. And it still remains relevant for me to refer to it. Although we celebrate has been removed, but we need to comment. First of all, may I surprise you by saying You cannot separate chiefs from politics. It's not possible. Kwataka history will tell you that. The first politicians, Mad Mambo, when colonizers arrived, we fought them, Kusnama political parties. We resisted colonial rule in all countries on the continent. Whether we go to Namibia, to Ghana, to Neron, sorry, and without a show of it. We have traditional leaders who were murdered, killed, executed because of their resistance to colonial rule. History, any history book will tell you that. So we cannot separate chiefs in politics. It's not possible. After all, this is what it's doing. Kana muchitamba politics tofana kuva musamwe tichikukontrola inokuudza kuti musarasika chengetai nyika yedu zvakanaka. So we can't be kicked out completely. But part of the issue which we need to know about chiefs and politics is that, and that's your takeaway home this afternoon, whilst we participate in politics, what type of politics? No, Pania. Issues we come in when the national interest is at stake or is in jeopardy. National interest, we descend from the palace to the political arena. That's why parent reform, you heard us, we have been the most active. Got to the Fredu, was the first Chimurenga, second Chimurenga, you find Matimambano Guamu. But not to be chairpersons of political parties, or to be chairperson of a province. No, that's not what we are looking for. We are simply looking for a well-run country promoting the aspirations of our people. Then we come in. Kakulema sanctions, we come in. Tapinda, no, not sanctions. No to sanctions. So such politics, yes. But and that Mugate homosexuality, tamuka. No. Atitika zakadara. So ours are issues of national interest. And there you'll find us. But what we should not do is to contest for political office directly. So if I end up with Triple C, not up with our president with Triple C, not for a chief. Can I win away political party? No, not for a chief. I think this also. Even the Guzan PF, Magambo, let's contest our president. I tell me, I don't contest about Chawa. But we work with them on issues of national interest. I have about treaties. Let me be also the Senate president. No Sakamaka an MDC Kuma 2000, 2002 and 1 because right now trend reform back. You still got no ways.
Order. The Honorable Senator Chief Charumbira, try to stick to one language so that the interpreters and the stereographers will not be inundated with switching from one language to the other.
Thank you. I'll stick to English. But you know, sometimes habits, sometimes you feel Shona expression is stronger. So we wind up with Shona, but they don't want to do that. Mr. President, I'm just emphasizing the issue of the role of chiefs in politics or traditional leaders, that we do not seek political office. We participate in politics, but we do not seek political office, but we go there to make sure the country is well governed. And that's why if we were to rewrite Section 281 in the current constitution ourselves, if we include chiefs in politics, we would say chiefs should not participate in active politics. That's the correct, proper language to use. They should not participate in politics. It's too strong, and it's not realistic. What is realistic is to say they should not participate in active politics. Now, active politics means Takuda zvigaro muma political parties. I see it here. But in government, no problem. You are aware that the ANC party in South Africa, and some of the first leaders of it was the Chief Luturi, was the leader of that party, ANC. And if you read the literature, he says the only reason he decided to run, to lead the party, was to fight the racism in South Africa.
Order. Honorable Senator Chief, you've got 5 minutes left.
Let me find out how I can move. Thank you. But maybe lastly on politics is, let's be, even in the UK, for example, if a political party wins the elections, you cannot, or the party that has won elections cannot form a government without first going to the Queen to seek permission to form a government. And then the Queen says, I grant you permission. And I watched on TV when David Cameron, former Prime Minister, won elections. He went to the palace, came back and addressed a press conference and said, following our victory as a party, the Queen has granted us permission to form a government. So I got the Queen opinion on politics, no. Let me move and say, to strengthen this bill, we are making these proposals, which we've shared with the Minister, of course, that the bill under Section 285 should be strengthened and be clear that the Provincial Assembly should be chaired by a provincial chairman of chiefs of that province, and that their term of office should run concurrently with that of the National Council of Chiefs. So we are proposing that. Under the Delimitation Commission, we are members. The Chiefs Council will nominate one person. But the only aspect which we would want amended is where you say this chief should have knowledge in delimitation. Being a chief and having knowledge in delimitation, I think may not be easy. So let the person be just a chief. Then that in the RDCs, chiefs should not be, just a road council, should not be ex-official members. That is demeaning. Sorry for that. Please, the chief is the owner of that land which we call under RDC, and he cannot be an ex-official when others, the youth, women, and others are full members. I think let's correct that. And of course, we support the idea that in the councils RDCs, we need to have also, people with disabilities. Gender Commission, total support as chiefs. We have always supported the women, and we always support you as women so that you are everywhere. Let me close and say, Mr. President, I'm humbled. Allow me to finish this very important statement. I'm humbled since yesterday. In this chamber, the convergence of views, a bit of divergence is allowed and is good and healthy for debate. No problem, but if you look at the majority, the overwhelming majority of supporting CAB 3, I want to say congratulations to the chiefs for your 100% support. I think that total brotherhood and sisterhood, opposition, led by Senator Chabangu here. You've done well, Chabangu. He has done very well. He has done very well. Don't mind, I don't agree. It's health, it's part of debate. It's not health for all of us. In the Parliament. So congratulations. ZANU-PF, congratulations. So then, as we go to committee stage and voting, At the acrimony, this is a mature upper house. Tikafanana na National Assembly, they say, then what is the value of this house? Papa Musiano, that there is less acrimony in this house. We are more experienced, more wisdom in this house. Thank you, Mr. President. Sorry for my movement to different languages, but thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Senator Chief Charumbira. I recognize the Honorable Senator Chawangu. You are yielding the floor to Senator Pulu.
Sorry, Mr. President. I think the list has an error. The chief whip is approaching.